Forza Motorsport 7 has been out for a week now. I put around 20 hours into the game, dabbled in all the different modes, and I'm ready to give my thoughts, my review on Forza Motorsport 7. Will I like it as much as the Horizon series, or will the sim aspect of the game drag the score down? Stay tuned to find out. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And Forza, like I said, has been out for a week, came out on October 2nd. It is developed by Turn 10, and you can buy the game on the store for $60 or the $100 version for the VIP. It is an Xbox Play Anywhere title, which means if you buy the Xbox One version, you'll get the PC version for free, or vice versa. I just want to give a big thank you for Microsoft for sending over a code for this review. Now, I know some of you are probably like, wait a minute, Rand. You've been very vocal about the fact that you don't really enjoy motorsport, and that is true. I am a lover of Forza Horizon, but when the opportunity came to kind of delve into my first motorsport truly, even though I played demos of the other ones, which is where my dislike for the series comes from, I had to take it. I go into all my reviews that I do, from the AAA games to the smaller indie titles, with an open mind, and I try to judge the game on the merits that it has. So, what did I think about Forza Motorsport 7? Did it live up to Forza Horizon, or did the sim nature kind of scare me off? And I'm going to try to hit all the things about this game, even all the new stuff. The loot crates, the driver gear, the car collection, a lot of stuff, and that will be a little bit later in the review. But one of the first things I noticed when I started playing this game is how gorgeous this game looks. Not only how beautiful the game looks, but the sound design in this game is incredible. If you have a good pair of headsets with Dolby Atmos, make sure to use them, because the sound of the engines and the tires on the track and each one of the ears, and when you switch views from behind the car, which is the view that I use, I just need to see my car when I'm driving, and you switch to cockpit, you can hear the change in the sounds. Best sounding game probably ever. And like I said, the game looks incredible. The car models, the interior shots, they all look great. The only kind of issue I have with how the game looks is that some of the stuff in the distance, whether it's the scenery, the trees, the bushes out in like the far distance, or even some of the buildings, they don't particularly look too well. And I should mention, I'm playing the Xbox One version on my S. I don't have an X, and I don't have a PC to run it, so maybe those visuals will be improved on the X, and I will be revisiting this game when the X does come out to kind of contrast and compare the two. But while the game looked amazing, you know, when you're racing the cars and you see everything and the sun shining off of it, it just, in the distance, it didn't look that good, in my opinion at least. The gameplay, of course, is like center stage for every Forza, from Horizon to Motorsport, and Motorsport 7 is no different. It just controls perfectly. There's no other way of saying it. It feels great to hold down that right trigger, rev the engine, and blast off from the start line, trying to vie for position from the other driver tars, trying to make those turns as best as you can, and just continuously do those laps, and then try to do those laps better, because that is what Forza Motorsport is all about. It's all about mastering a course. And that's a little bit different than the experience I have with Forza Horizon, where I'm just kind of playing for fun. Now, they do have a lot of difficulty settings and assists that you can put on in this game. If you want to put it on the hardest, unbeatable driver AI, which gives you the most credit return, you can do that. Of course, I'm not that good at this game, so I think I have it on inexperienced, whereas I'm racing against dumber AI, and I always usually win, but I want to have fun playing it. And of course, you can turn on assists that help you with steering, braking, and all those different things to help alleviate the situation, because in Horizon you can drift around corners. In this game, not so much. If you try to drift around a corner, you're going to go into the corner and smack into the wall, and you might have to use a rewind to put you back on course and do it again. So the gameplay is perfect. Of course, I was also looking for the single player experience, because that is what I am interested in. And there is the Forza Cup, the single player experience. And what I found really cool about this is it kind of guides you and makes you choose between different cars. So there's 6 Forza Forza Cups, or at least there's a Forza Cup at the end. In each of the championships you race, you have to, each race gives you a certain amount of XP in that championship, and once that completely fills up, you become the champion, and you move on to the next championship, and the final one is the Forza Drivers Cup. Now these are pretty cool because they let you get into different type of cars, and this is where you can feel how cars are different. You know, a Mitsubishi drives completely different than a Lamborghini, and so forth and so on. So each one of the cars drive differently. They have different acceleration, different braking. Cockpit view is always cool. Even though I don't race in cockpit view, I always find myself at least going in there and checking out the design. Each one of the championships also features a showcase race, which is a usually kind of one-off thing where you do some sort of special event like bowling or one-on-one Gincana event, and then usually after you win those, you get points towards the championship, and you also win their car. And when you complete the full championship, well, you also win their car and some gear as well. And to be honest, I was kind of bored with the game in the first two championships. I really wasn't feeling it. There's no great music stations to choose from when kind of grinding out the races to complete the championships, and I was just like, man, I knew I should have went with my instincts. This isn't for me. And then I got to the third championship, and maybe it was because you could use better cars or whatever, but I started feeling the races, and I wanted to keep on going. And I'm currently in the middle of the fourth one, and I'm actually having fun completing the showcases and racing. Granted, I am playing on a easier difficulty, but I'm not the best racer. I just play these games for fun. So I overcame my kind of aversion to the sim racer, and I'm enjoying playing through the campaign. Now, I'm going to delve into some of the controversial aspects and changes to Forza Motorsport 7. So when you come to the menu and you have the different options here from continue career, multiplayer, prize crates and all that stuff, we're going to talk about all these things. But one of the big changes to the game is this car collection. No longer can you just accumulate, say, $3 million and buy a specific car, because cars are gated by the tier that you in. And the more cars you buy, it increases your car collector level. So when you see in the top right corner, my car collector level is 8, and every car I buy increases that. But the cars are situated in the 3 or 5 different tiers. 1, 2, 3, which is rare, 4 is super rare, and legendary is 5. So to be able to buy cars in the legendary tier, you have to have a rating of 5. And every time you buy a car, it has a certain number of value that increases your tier progress. So they want to do a little bit of car collection stuff. Okay, fine. The other thing they have here is the mod system, which you get from the loot crates. The mods affect the races, usually in a harder way. You can put one on that'll put on normal steering or race at night, and they give you credit bumps. If you put those, you can have 3 equipped per race. Normally they'd be like plus 50% extra credits or some XP, and it'll give you extra money. So that you get those from loot boxes, right? And the other thing they created specifically for this game is the customization options. You have the driver gear. There's a whole bunch of these, from country suits to just kind of very popular racers suits to just kind of off the wall crazy like a ninja suit or a knight with a bunch of armor. They kind of really went all out here to add the customization stuff to the game. And they put kind of your driver not only front and center, but important, they want you to get attached to the driver to be able to, like, hey, I want that suit or I want those things, and you can pick from those. Every time you level up in the experience to your driver level, you can choose between money, discount on a car, or driver gear. And how else do you get all of these things? Well, you get cars, you can get mods, and you can get driver gear in the controversial prize crates. As you can see, there's the 3 main tiers at the top and the 5 at the bottom. They all give you kind of varying degrees of legendaries or super rares and things like that. Or there's crates just for mods if you want to just get mods, and there's crates for driver, mixed assortment of stuff. Currently, though, this is only usable with in-game credits. You can't buy it with real money, so there's no micro transactions in the game. So I have some money here I'm going to check out this lucky car crate, the most expensive one, 300,000 credits, and see what we get. Now you can get badges for your player, mods. You can see there I got a driver gear and also a car, which increased my collection tier to 9. So does all this new stuff really affect the game in a negative way? Well, for me, not really. I don't really, as you guys know, I don't really care for customization stuff. It doesn't bother me. So the driver gear and the like little icon it gives you, it's nothing. Like, I understand why they're there, but it doesn't do anything for me. The mods, I do use a lot in the races because who doesn't want to get extra money? And a lot of places have kind of termed Forza Motorsport 7 as pay to earn, because you do earn credits in a race, and then these mods give you more credits, up to like 200% more, and then you take the credits that you earn and either buy cars or try to get more mods. But I didn't really think it was a big deal, although it should be noted that in previous games, the mods, you could kind of play how you wanted, and if you wanted to play it hard on yourself, you'd get more money. They kind of moved that to the mod system. I don't know, I kind of always make it easier for myself because I've never really worried about money in these games. So I just kind of use mods just to see how they affected the gameplay. And, I mean, the big thing, the car collector, I get what they're going for with the idea of collecting cars, but, like, I don't really like the idea of if I want to grind out and have $4 million and I want to buy a specific car, but I can't, so I have to go buy these other cars. I'm not a fan of that, but I don't really think it hurts anything. If you just play the game normally, you'll earn enough credits and you'll get enough cars from leveling up and those things that you'll eventually be able to buy that stuff. And as for the loot crates themselves, I kind of ignored them. I barely used them. The only time I used them is to try out the mod stuff and just kind of test it for the review. They do kind of throw it in your face a little bit. The announcer will say, hey, go check out the loot boxes. But I don't think you have to use them. You can kind of just play it yourself and just completely ignore them. And, you know, there's no microtransactions because I'm not charging for money at this point. Although, like, you know, you saw me open it up there, I got a legendary car. So, I mean, sometimes you can get stuff that's really worth it or sometimes not. So, what are my final thoughts on Forza Motorsport 7? The game looks incredible. It plays perfectly. And after initial kind of learning curve, I did really start enjoying the game. I started to look forward to trying out the new championships with the different cars, and so I can kind of feel how the game is different from car to car. The addition to the loot boxes aren't that big of a deal as people are made them out to be. I kind of just ignore them completely. But when compared to my favorite series, Forza Horizon, it's not as good as that, clearly. But it is good. If you are looking for a sim racing game, this has basically everything what you're looking for. So if you are one of those people that want that sim racer experience, pick up Forza Motorsport 7. For everybody else, if you love Horizon like I do, maybe kind of take a wait and see approach, because it took a little bit of time for me to kind of get in the groove, which is why I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. And yes, for Forza Horizon 3, I gave it a 9.5. So this game is really good. It's really good. Maybe, who knows, the more I play it, maybe when I get it on the X and it looks even better, you know, 'cause some of the stuff in the distance and some of the buildings don't look particularly well, maybe the experience will be improved upon, and I'll come back from Forza Motorsport 8 understanding the game better, and I'll like it more. Anyways, guys, that is my review for Forza Motorsport 7. If you enjoyed it or find it useful, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new or you haven't already. What are you waiting for? Share this review out on social media with everybody so everybody can come check it out. Hope everybody has a good rest of the day. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Later, guys.